Very good morning to the parents, friends, viewers and my dear children. Today, this time I have come up with a story. So, in total in my videos, I will be coming up with videos in connection to the stories, grammar, as well as poem. And as a surprise, I might come up with some other new programs also. So, stay in touch with me. So this time I have planned to come up with a story, right? So today's story, the name of the story is Taro's Reward. And this story is a story for everyone who are listening. But when it comes to grade 6, for them, lesson number 3, Taro's Reward is a lesson. It's a lesson for them. But rest of this, it's a story. Let's go ahead and see what the story tries to convey us. Okay, so here we go. The name of the story is Taro's Reward. This story is about a thoughtful son. Taro was a woodcutter who was not very rich. He was from a poor family and he used to stay along with his old dad and mom in a lonely hillside area. That's what it talks about. It talks about how good he was, how caring he was, how concerned he was. And as a reward of that, what he got rewarded with, that's what the story talks about. Okay, let's go. See, this story is about a thoughtful and loving son who worked hard enough to fulfill their parents' wishes. His only motive was to take care of his parents. He was the only person who was earning the bread and butter for that family. Okay, and regular needs, that means regular day-to-day needs he wanted to fulfill for them. For whom? Only his parents. Here we start with the story. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside area. Can you see it here? This is Taro. What is he holding? He's holding an axe. He's a woodcutter, so he needs a weapon, right? He needs a tool. So that's what is the axe that he uses as a tool for his regular work. Okay, for chopping wood. These are his old parents, dear. Okay, by the hut as well as the dress you can make out, they are not well to do, right? But he was the only earning member for the family. Though he worked very hard but earned very little money, which made him feel very sad. He earned very little money, so he felt very sad. Why he wanted more money? He wanted more money to fulfill all the regular day-to-day needs of his parents. Okay, in order to keep anyone happy, see children, even you want to buy anything luxury or even a single bottle of Pepsi or wine or juice or anything, or even a Bisleri water, everything has its own price, right? So if you keep on go on increasing your needs, accordingly the money in your pocket also should be there to buy that, right? So he had a number of things in his mind to do for his parents, but when it actually came to make it true, he couldn't afford it. Okay, he wanted to do everything for his old parents. One evening, a strong wind began to blow. See, they're inside the house. Can you see it? They're inside the house. Children, when we are inside the house, the climate keeps changing. Climate is not in control of anyone. In times it's heavy sun. It's too hot. In times it rains heavily. In times you feel the chill breeze. But to escape from everything, we have a house wherein the moment it starts raining, what we do? Immediately we go and close the window so that the rain doesn't get in. Chill breeze flowing, immediately we close the windows and doors. Right? And wear the jackets. But here, can you see the window pane here? You can see? Yeah, but it doesn't have a cover at all. It's open. This is must. It's very important. But he doesn't have whatever he's earning. It's enough for his day-to-day bread and butter, dear. For his parents' day-to-day bread and butter. So he should have something extra. These are the extra work, dear. Right? In order to do something extra, he needs to have some extra money for it. So what they could do is they could sit just next to the window and keep them, hold themselves very tight so that they feel little bit, at least little bit controllable. Okay, they feel little bit warm. So all the, but when it comes to the body temperature, dear, see, you might be going to school, right? So usually when you leave home during the winter, right? So you wear sweater. Your parents, they don't send you without sweater, right? So when you wear sweater and you go and you're done with the assembly, if the assembly is little bit longer, you do feel hot. So you remove your jackets and sweater, right? And if the AC or a fan is on, not everyone feels comfortable, right? One among your students, your class mates would come up saying that, "Ma'am, I'm feeling very chill. Can you please off the fan?" It does happen, right? Yes, because temperature affects everyone in a different way. Body temperature is totally different. Some people, they can take up good high temperature. Some people, they can't take it. They feel very chill, right? So in the same way, when it came to Taro's father, you can see both our mom and dad, both are old enough. But Taro's mom could bear that chillness. But when it came to Taro's dad, he couldn't bear the chillness at all. He started shivering. Whenever you plan for a tour, say night travel journey through bus or train, the very first thing for the night journey, what you remember, you feel that, yeah, I should remember, I should carry my blankets or jackets, so that during the night, if I feel chill, I can keep myself protected from chillness. I can feel cool, I can feel warm, right? So in the same way, when it came to Taro's dad, he was shivering like anything. Immediately what came out of his mouth while shivering, he said, "I wish I could have a cup of sake." Immediately, let's see. See, suddenly his father said, "I wish I had a cup of sake. It would warm me and do my old heart good." The sake. Children, S-A-K-E, sake. You don't spell it as sake, you spell it as sake. And when it's written sake, immediately you're supposed to put an apostrophe above the E. That's a plural form. Okay? So, sake, you're supposed to spell it as S-A-K-E, sake, not sake. Okay? What is sake, dear? Sake, it's a Japanese drink. It's a Japanese drink. And the second name for sake is, it's also called as heartwarming drink. The heartwarming drink, the name itself talks about the drink, right? So, in chill climate, you feel like eating ice cream or you feel like eating hot soup, hot soup, right? So, in the same way, why? While drinking, when you drink hot soup, you feel so warm, you feel so nice. It makes yourself a little bit warm, right? But when it comes to sake, a single swallow of it can make, it works as a medicine. It's also called a heartwarming drink. Let's see next. The heartwarming drink, what's that? Sake, right? Was very expensive. It was a very expensive drink. So it made Taro sadder than ever. See, anything which is very expensive, can everyone afford here? Not everyone can afford expensive things, right? You can't afford all expensive things, one can't afford, right? Depends what you earn, you should always cut the shirt according to the, you should always cut the cloth according to your shirt. Okay? So, what you're supposed to do is, he was just thinking, oh my God, my dad is literally shivering. And the very first thing that came out of my dad's mouth was, I wish I could have a cup of sake. So his main intention was to, oh my God, somehow I should get sake. He knows sake is good. What does sake do? It will warm up his heart. And right now he's shivering. I need to get him that. But nothing comes for toss, right? Everything has its own price. So he was worried. Can you see? He was worried and he's thinking. And as I told you, he was a hardworking woodcutter. So hardworking people, they never waste their time, dear. Right? See, he wanted more money. He was sad because he was not able to earn enough money. So he was just thinking his head, what should I do, what should I do, what should I do? Then he thought harder and harder. Then he said, anyhow, I'm not wasting time. See dear, if you're working continuously without wasting your time, still what you earn is less. That means what? You need to give more time, right? You need to give more time, right? So then he thought, let me get up early and let me start my work even early, so that more the time I spend, I invest. Then I get to work hard. What I earn, I mean, if I work hard, I can cut more, I can chop more wood. More the wood I chop, I can go and sell it. More I sell it, I get more price. Right? So this is what he thought. So he said, how do I get little sake for my dad? He was just thinking. Expensive sake, he decided to work harder. Next morning, he jumped out of his bed earlier means regular usual time what he used to get. When he used to get up, it's much more earlier than that. Got it? Next, after getting up early, where did he go? He went to the forest. He went to the forest. What is the job of him? What he used to do in the forest? He used to chop wood. Okay. See, he chopped and cut. He chopped and cut. Chop means cut into small pieces. Okay. This is cut. This is chop. Got it? Till the sun climbed. That means he left home early. He kept on working. He decided till it's noon time, it's afternoon time, I'm not going to stop working at all. I stop, my work stops. So he had determined himself that I'm going to work continuously till the sun, till it's noon time. Soon he was so warm. That means it was noon time, he decided to work. So noon time, what happens? Where does the sun come? It comes exactly on top of our head. That means it's noon time, right? So when the sun is exactly on top of us, noon time, you feel very, very hot, right? And he was wearing a jacket. Like us, a person who's already working, he feels more hot, right? So he was sweating out like anything. Can you see? Can you see how he's sweating out? Can you see the sweat dripping from his forehead and skin and all face? You can see that, right? So immediately he removed his jacket. Okay. Soon he was so warm that he had to remove and take off one and the same. Okay. His jacket. His mouth was dry. Children, not everyone has to say particular tagline for something. We should understand. Mouth was dry. That means he was feeling thirsty. That means he was feeling thirsty. Okay. And his face was wet. Face was wet means wet out of what? Out of sweat. Out of sweat. Okay. Sweat comes when you're really tired. Got it? And moreover, it was so hot. Then he suddenly stopped chopping. All of a sudden, the person who was continuously working, immediately he stopped chopping. What was the sound he heard of? Can you see his hands here? All of a sudden, he was chopping continuously, and then he dropped it, and then he said, what was the sound? Children, whenever you're doing something, if there's a sound, immediately don't you guess, throw out your guesses. What is this? It's a bell? Okay, then immediately your brain starts guessing out. Is it a break bell? Is it a lunch bell? Or it's a regular? See, there's a different ring or a bell sound for different periods. You're getting it or not? So one after the other, there are regular periods, then you get a single bell. If it's a break, then it's a different bell. If it's a lunch break, then it's a different bell. Right? In the same way, if it's the same time, if there's a bell of an ice cream bell, you can guess out or not. You can throw out guesses or not. Yes, this is ice cream bell. Right? So in the same way, when he heard the sound, he's like, he couldn't guess out, and he was trying to guess out. But then he came up to a conclusion. This particular sound, it resembles the sound of a waterfall. See? Could it possibly be a rushing water? rushing water. That means water is falling from a height. He could feel that. He could feel that sound. He could hear the sound to resemble to a rushing water, right? He asked himself, but how could that possible? Because this particular person, that is Taro, he was a woodcutter who used to come to the forest, same forest he used to come. Children, if you are in your school and don't you know where is 6th B, where is 4th A, where is the library, and which building does 10th standard falls? You know, right? You know, right? So in the same way, he comes to the forest daily, so he knows very well what all things are there in the surrounding. He was like, I have never ever, let's see what he says. See, he couldn't remember ever seeing, ever means never. Okay, he couldn't remember ever seeing or hearing rushing stream in that part of the forest. That particular part, he see daily, regularly where you're going, you know, in and out of about that, right? A person who's stranger might not be knowing when, where, what's there, right? But a person who goes to the same place regularly, he should be knowing in and out, right? So he knew that there's no waterfall nearby. And for his thirst, he used to regularly carry water to drink. Also, he was feeling very thirsty. The moment he heard it as a waterfall, immediately he started feeling thirsty also. He was thirsty also. So immediately what he did? He dropped the axe. He dropped the axe out. He dropped out his axe from his hands, and soon he ran in the direction of the sound. See children, now no one is following him. He's not seeing anyone. Whom he follow? He'll follow only the sound, right? So the sound is coming in whichever direction he was going. He was changing his directions and running in the direction of the sound, right? Okay, let's see where he lands. He saw a beautiful little waterfall. That sound led him to a beautiful little waterfall. But where? Where was it? It was hidden behind a rock. It was hidden behind a big rock. So till now he could see only the rock and he never came by. But all of a sudden he felt that, oh my God, behind, when you reach the actual spot, the sound increases, right? Yeah, so he could hear and he started saying, where is it? Then he could guess, yeah, behind this rock, behind the rock, when he saw what he found a beautiful waterfall. Kneeling at a place. Kneeling means what? Sitting with the support of your knees. Sitting with the support of your knees. Okay? So, kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly. This particular line, it really makes a big difference to you. See, water flowed. See, water doesn't flow with an equal intensity everywhere. In the middle of the stream, if you see, the water flows. The flow of water is very fast, right? So, what will happen? All of a sudden, if you jump in the middle of the water, you will get flowed away along with the water. Along with the stream, you will also get flowed away, right? So the same way, in order to be safe enough, where in the sides, in the edges, where the water flow was really quiet and a little bit less, there he knelt down. That means kneel down and knelt down is different, right? Kneel, knelt. Present tense and past tense. So he knelt down. Again, kneel means what? Sitting with the support of your knees. Okay, he sat with the support of the knees and he cupped a little in his water. Little what? It's a waterfall, right? So from waterfall, what you will take? You'll expect from it to take only the water, right? So he cupped a little what? Water in his hands. Cup means what, dear? See, this is your hand. Can you take the water like this? If you don't have a container, no, right? So this is called cupping. Joining you both the hands together, both your palms together. This is called cup the little water. Got it, dear? He cupped the little water. This is what is called cup. He cupped a little water in his hands and put it to his lips. This is something to drink or eat. Anything to taste, it has to go to the lips, right? Isn't it? And he cupped a little water and took it to its lip. And then he tasted. He swallowed it. And what did he see? And he was guessing. For a moment, he was shocked. Was it water? See dear, we all know what is water. How does it taste, right? But When he actually took the first sip, he couldn't believe. He started guessing, is it water? Doesn't look like water. Was it water? Again, repeatedly. See dear, when you don't come to a conclusion, you have doubt. You to confirm yourself, you do the same thing. You again repeatedly taste that till you get the confirmation, right? Same thing Taro did. He tasted it again and again, and always, every time he tasted, he felt the same taste. He felt the same taste. See? And always it was delicious sake. Every time he drank, he could come up only with one single guess, with only one single conclusion, that was sake. The delicious sake. Instead of cold water. Every time he took, oh my God, he's trying to explain himself. From the waterfall, you get water only. You won't get milk. Right? So, from the waterfall, it has to be only water. It has to be only water. So he just cupped a little, repeatedly started drinking. After tasting continuously for repeated times, then he came to a conclusion saying, it's just not water at all. It's a delicious sake. Then immediately what he did, he quickly filled the pitcher. Pitcher, what is pitcher here? Pitcher means, here pitcher means not a movie. No, here pitcher. That is P-I-C-T-U-R-E. This is P-I-T-C-H-E-R. This pitcher means a mud pot. What is it? A mud pot. Okay. So here the mud pot is pitcher. Okay. So immediately he filled the pitcher he had with him. Whichever pitcher he had. Immediately he filled the sake with it, into it. Okay. And hurried home. Immediately he hurried home. Why? Did he take that sake for himself? No, right? If he would have been a selfish person, he would have nicely seen. Drink is a drink, right? If you want to enjoy, he could have enjoyed and he could have drank and slept there only. But he didn't do that. The moment he came to conclusion, this is what my dad wanted. Immediately, his brain didn't let him entertain at all. Immediately, he thought about his parents. Being a thoughtful son, he acted upon it accordingly. Immediately, he filled the sake into the pitcher and immediately he left towards his home. The old man was delighted with the sake. Who was the old man here? Taro's dad. Old man. See, when people are old, they are old, right? So here Taro's dad was old enough. He was really delighted. The moment he said, I bought a sake for you, he couldn't believe at all. Let's see. How did he react? After only one, see, he served, see here, drinks and everything are served to be in a cup. Okay, so the cup, he served the drink. Can you see the cup? So in this cup, he served the sake. Children, sake is a drink which is made by fermenting rice. But when it comes to rest other beverages, hard drinks, hot beverages, alcohols and all, how they are made by fermenting fruits. While each fruit has sugar content in it. So that particular sugar content is being fermented, and through that fermentation, that's how they make alcohol. The same way, this also has alcohol content in it, 15 to 18%. It has alcohol content in it. But this particular drink, coming to sake, it has more medicinal values. It's a heartwarming drink. It's very good for heart. It's good for it cures all skin diseases. It's very good for skin. Got it? So when it came to sake, when his dad was being served with a cup of sake, he just took a sip of it, just swallowed one single sip. One single sip. And then what happened? See, what did he do? And he stopped shivering. The moment he said here, when in the chill climate, when you really feel cold and you you drink a soup or eat hot food, and don't you feel good? What about the hot snacks and all, the starters and all that you love to eat when it's really raining and chill out? You feel like eating hot starters, right? Let it be veg or non-veg, or when it comes to drink, you love to have soup, right? So all these things, it makes you feel really warm, right? In the same way, just a sip of sake, it did a magic. What magic? he stopped shivering immediately, dear. For example, if you people, if one, you would have experienced a high temperature, right? So when you have high temperature, what are the symptoms that you throw out? You start shivering. You don't feel comfortable with the fan on. You are always inside your blanket because you're feeling chill. But when you have been treated with medicine, like either injection or medicine, the moment you take that, after some time, what? You just throw out your blankies one by one. You start throwing out your blankies and sweaters. You're on the fan. You start sweating. So the same way, what is that? That's a medicinal effect. Here also, as I told you, it has awesome medicinal effect. So that particular drop of sake, this single swallow of the sake made him feel very warm. Immediately he stopped shivering. And he wanted to express that, no, I'm really feeling good. He wanted to express that because when he couldn't manage, he spoke it out. He spoke his heart out, saying that I'm feeling very cold. I wish I could have had a sake. But the same way, when he's feeling good, he has stopped shivering. He wants to express his feelings. So what he did, he stopped shivering and he did a little dance in the middle of the floor. He took the drink. After taking a sip of it, he took it in hand and in the middle of the floor, he started expressing his happiness. Okay, what he did a little dance in the middle of the floor. Then a neighbor stopped by for a visit. There was a neighbor who knew them. All of a sudden, she was passing through and she stopped by their place. His dad politely offered for her a cup of sake. See dear, here, what does it say? It says that a neighbor popped in, she came in, and immediately this old man, what he did, he offered a sake. He knows that sake is very, very expensive drink. And his son has bought it for him. But still, look at his hospitality, dear. What does it show? It shows his quality of being a good host. He's such a good host, he has treated the guests so nicely. Whatever they had, they love to share everything. What they have, they love to share. There's no selfishness in them. No, this is for us. He didn't keep it aside. Immediately he offered her, the lady with a cup of sake, and the lady drank it greedily. While drinking, while offering hot beverages or cold beverage or even snacks to your guests, do you zip up and have it or what? Or do you give them instruction to zip up or what? No, right? Right? So you talk to them nicely, you chat with them, and then you go ahead and you serve them. Then they also talk to you, then they have it, right? So the same way, while having this particular drink, the neighbor, she was having the drink, Taro was sharing the story of the waterfall. He shared the story of the waterfall from where he got it. The moment she heard this greedy lady, she left in hurry on knowing the fact. From the moment she heard the secret of the waterfall, immediately she wanted to rush, because see, here the greediness is that, oh my God, something which is readily available, before it gets exhausted, I should go and get it. That's the greediness. Got it? Okay, let's see next. By nightfall, what did the lady do? By the nightfall, she had spread the story throughout the whole village. She went and spread it everywhere. Some people, you say something, they can't keep it in their stomach at all. Immediately they have to vomit it out. They have to go and gossip everywhere and make sure that the secret remains no more a secret at all. Right? So the same way this lady, she spread the whole news throughout the village. Then what happened? Anyone who listens, they don't want to believe here. Unless until you experience yourself, do you feel like believing upon anything? Nope, right? So the same way with the villagers, they came to hear. Immediately, can you see, it's such a long procession. See, this is called procession. Soon there was a procession of visitors at Taro's place. Can you see the long queue? Right? So everyone wanted to experience, is it so? Is it so? Where? Our Taro? Is it? Immediately they came and they wanted to experience. The moment, see, when he came, see, not only Taro's father, even Taro himself, they all had a very good nature. They all were very good hosts. Whomever came, what did they do? Immediately they served a cup of sake to everyone. To everyone they were serving, he spoke. He shared them the story of the secret waterfall. Then everyone drank it. And then next, and see dear, if you have a if you have a bottle of water or a juice, if you drink it or you share it to your friends, still the water level or the juice level keeps going down, right? So once it's empty, then it's no more. Obviously when it's coming down, you will reach a stage where it's empty. You will have an empty bottle, right? So the same way, since Taro was serving sake to everyone individually, or soon within an hour's time, what happened? The pitcher was empty. That means sake got finished because it was being served to everyone, right? Okay, each man heard the story of waterfall and took a sip of the sake. They said, oh, is it? How, see, when you serve a cup of tea or coffee, when you talk to them, do they let the tea or coffee get cold and listen to your stories? No, right? They take and they say, this is how they do, right? They listen to it. They listen to you the same way. They don't let the tea or coffee get chilled off at all. The same way they were listening to his stories. They were throwing out their facial expressions, their response, and then they were having the drink also. Okay? And within an hour's time, the pitcher was empty. Can you see the picture? What is picture here? What's picture? Yes, mud pot. See, okay. Then what happened? Taro started for work even earlier. See, first he used to go in regular time. Then he decided, no, what I'm earning is not less. I need to earn more money. Then he started leaving earlier. And still, now he decided, no, I have some other work. See dear, when you have 2-3 works together, club together, what do you need to do? You need to plan up where to go first, how to go, right? So in the same way, he planned to leave even more earlier. See? He carried with him the largest pitcher he owned. Whatever he had, in that, among them, the largest pitcher he took. For what? For getting the sake. Okay? For filling the sake into the pitcher. Okay? He took the largest pitcher he owned. He intended means having the intention. His mind, only one thing was in his mind. Only one intention he had, that I have to go to the waterfall and first fill the sake from my dad and keep it. Okay? And intended first of all to go to the waterfall. So first he decided to go to the waterfall. After that, I'll go to my work, I'll start doing my work. While coming, I'll carry it back. Okay? On reaching there, where? In the forest. On reaching there, he was surprised to see all his neighbors with the pitchers. Oh my God, he was surprised and shocked. Before he was there, the whole half of the village was there only there. He was surprised. And he was also shocked. Let's see why he was shocked. All the neighbors there with their pitchers, with jars, buckets, whatever they had. Some had got pitchers, some got jars, some got buckets. Whatever they had to fill in, they just grabbed it from their home. Anything they could find to hold the magic sake. Anything that you can. Can you hold the sake in your hand? Can you cup the sake here and reach your home? That's not possible, right? So whatever they could hold as a container, they fetched it. And in order to get the sake filled in it, right? Let's see really what happened. One of the villager knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall. Knelt, remember? That means sitting on with the support of your knees. Okay? Is it Taro? No, he's one of the villager. Okay? So one of the villager, he knelt and he held the water all to drink. He cupped a little water and he took it to his lips in order to taste. Water? Nothing but water when he drank. Because see, this person, first time he took it and he drank and he started shouting, saying, water, just water. Did Taro react the same way? No, because he thought it's water and he drank it. He couldn't believe it was tasting something else. So he tried repeatedly. But here they came with the expectation that this is not water, this is sake. So they all knew what is sake. Okay, so the moment they drank, any of them already tasted at Taro's house, right? Isn't it? So when he tasted, he said, what? Just a cold water? See, immediately he shouted in anger. See, when Taro drank, he didn't get angry. He was surprised. He's like, what? After drinking, immediately he grabbed it in a pitcher for his dad as a medicine. But when it came to the villager, he came with an expectation and hope that it's sake. But when he drank, he was so angry, he got annoyed. He said, water? Just water? We have been tricked, he started telling all the villagers. We have been tricked, shouted the villagers. Everyone said, yeah, yeah. See, we have been fooled. We have been tricked. What he said was totally wrong. What we are seeing is, it's not a sake. What we found here was not sake. It was just a cold water. Where is Taro? See, the whole anger turned towards Taro. Because they came here through Taro only, right? Isn't it? Through Taro's story, they got to know the story, the secret of the waterfall, through Taro, and through him, they came here. But when they got disappointed, immediately they want to throw the blame on Taro, saying that, where is Taro? He's the one who fooled us. He's the one who gave us the hope and expectation. Okay, where is Taro? Let us drown him. See, when you're angry on something, over someone, what do? You feel like showing your anger. You feel like expressing your anger. When you're very angry, do you smile at that person, or hug at that person, or appreciate that person? No, right? You feel like expressing that. So, expression of anger was to punish that person. Okay, they wanted to punish them. Okay, so where is Taro? Let us drown him. This same waterfall, he said it's water. It's sake, right? So let him just dip him. Drown means what? Holding the neck of a person and making him drown, not letting him come out at all. Got it? That is their show. People who have the intention to do that, they are in the punishing side, right? They want to punish him. They want to express their anger. Okay, so that they were so hot and boiling with anger. Okay, but he had been wise enough. But Taro was wise enough. Children, you need to be smart enough. Being smart is what? You should know when and what situation, which situation, how you should react. What would have happened if you would have seen everyone, anyhow he has seen everyone being on top of their anger, being very angry on him, and they were just talking about drowning him. At that very moment, he would have come in front of those villagers. What would have happened? Not only one person would have punished him. Everyone, turn by turn, everyone would have come and taken their anger on, shown their anger on over Taro. Right? Isn't it? So he was wise enough. He's like, no, this is not the right time. I shouldn't pop in. I should be hiding here. Let them go. Then I'll go and check. The moment, one by one. But did they go just like that? No, they started muttering. Just see, where is Taro? Let us drown him in the waterfall. But he had been wise enough to slip behind a rock. That means he was hiding behind the rock. And when he saw how things were going, he was muttering their anger. What he saw the villagers muttering in anger. Muttering in anger means speaking out unclearly. Wait, let him go on then and see what to do. See, this is called talking within your lips. You are angry, you are talking within the lips. What you are talking is not clear, it's unclear. But still, you are talking, your lips are moving. With closed lips when you talk. That's what is called. That's not very clear, right? Isn't it? So, muttering their anger and disappointing the villagers left the place one by one. So, the villagers got disappointed and they were muttering and they left one by one. Okay. Taro came out. Came out of where? Where was he? Where did he come out of? He came out. He was behind the rocks, right? Then he came out. And then he wondered if the sake was a dream. He's like, oh my God, one person can say it's not sake. But how come the whole village is saying it's sake? He himself got confused here. He got confused. He's like, what? Then what was that which I had fetched home for my dad? At that time, for me, it tasted sake. For my dad, it did the job of a medicine. And he stopped shivering. Just by drinking a simple water, it won't chill you. It won't make you feel warm, right? Isn't it? So he was he was shocked. He's like, oh my God, I myself am so much confused. Let me just come out of the dilemma. Then what he did? What he did? Again he tried the same thing. He cupped a little water, took it to his lips and drank it. Once more he caught a little liquid is the water, and put it to his lips. It was the same fine sake. Within first sip, what he could feel the taste. He could feel the taste of the sake, the same delicious sake. It was the same fine sake. Only the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious sake. See dear, good things come. Magic and good things, miracles always happen to good people with good intention, dear. You never know, because they don't do things with an expectation. You don't have any expectation. See, miracles and magic happen only to good people with good, wise and good thoughts, dear. So here we already knew that Taro was a thoughtful son. So the waterfall gave Taro sake, and others it changed into a plain cold water. Okay. The story of Taro. This particular story. See, whenever something happens, it spreads out like a rumor, right? So the story of sake, the same way the story of sake and his magic waterfall reached the emperor of Japan. Reached the emperor of Japan. What? The story of Taro and his magic waterfall. The moment he heard, what did he do? What did he do? Immediately he sent upon a person. He called upon he sent someone to go and fetch the woodcutter, get the woodcutter here. And what he did, he rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold. He rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold. And why did he reward? So now, one more thing I want to tell you, dear. See, there are two things called reward and award, dear. Reward is different and award is different. When a competition has been held, you have been told this is a storytelling competition, there's an essay writing competition where you participate, and then the winner gets been awarded with a prize or a certificate or a token of advance or whatever. I mean, as a token of appreciation, when you have been given with the pricing amount or a certificate or how do you call a medal, right? That's what is called award. Award, you win the award. But reward is something, there was no competition. Was there a competition announced by the king saying that I want to see which child is one of the best child to their parents? Then if they would have done it, then that would have been an award. If they would have won in that, then it would have been an award. But now, there was no announcement, nothing. By nature itself, he was a thoughtful son. His only motive and intention was my dad, my mom, my parents. There are some people who are really good enough. They have awesome qualities to you. But when you ask their friends, when you ask outsiders, the colony people, they'll say, oh my God, this person is such an awesome person. But when you actually go and ask their parents, they feel that they come out with a different opinion, saying that, oh my God, to home he doesn't do anything. But when it comes to friends, whatever he earns, he blasts that money outside only. There are people. So here, this was not with Taro. Got it? The emperor said while giving the award, while giving the gold coin, gold pieces, what he said? He said this was to encourage all the children to honor means respect, obey and be good and kind to their parents. Got it? Have you come across a few roads? The roads and stations have been named after someone, right? They would have done something for the society. That's the reason that particular church or that particular road or that particular colony area is been awarded, is been named after that particular person, right? So the same way he wanted to, what he did, they had a fountain, he named the fountain after him. So two things he was awarded. One, with 20 pieces of gold, and second thing, he named the fountain after Taro. The Emperor of Japan also named the beautiful fountain in the city after Taro. Can you see the fountain here? This was why did the emperor do so? Because he wanted to encourage all the children to honor and obey their parents. Good things when we see, we should learn that. So, what was the moral of the story? The moral of the story is we should take care of our parents and elders. God helps only those who are kind and good enough to their parents. See, when teaching starts from who's the first teacher? Your first teacher is your mom, then your dad, then comes the teacher, right? So first teaching starts from home. In the same way, our own first is our circle, dear. My mom, my dad. Then second circle is sibling circle. Then third circle is your relative circle. Then comes your friend circle. Then comes the unknown circle. Unknown circle is the society. You help people. Even you know, you don't know, you help. That's a different circle. So you should know to give preference one by one. What the point of, see, out of the well, if you're doing everything to everyone and to your own home, you don't take care, then there's no point at all. Got it? So everything should start within ourselves. From the first circle, it should start. Our parents, our siblings, our relatives, our friends, and then neighbors, our society, and then our people. See? So everything comes into it. That's how it should be. Okay. So, you understood the story? This was the story. I hope you understood the story and you would have enjoyed it. Have a great time. Next time I'll come up with a different story or a poem or a drama, or it could be a surprise. Bye-bye till then. Have a good day. Bye-bye children.